Glassman, much love and respect.
We and for a special event because there are only two times in the history of the brand of Zenny 62
Special event
media,
because
there
are only two times
in the history of the brand of Zenny 62
special
media,
event
and that one of our bloggers have graduated from college. The first time was Nikki Rainey when we had the blog Zenny 62, which I still have but don't use as much. And the second time with this man, Mr. Lospinuso. And I should add, however, there is a third time, and that is with Keith Dubkowski, who got his law degree from Cal and got his job with Fox Sports based on what he learned working with me. And then he was later hired by the NFL Network and worked in NFL media. So there are successful people that come through here.
Indeed, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, and Vinny, congratulations on your broadcast degree at Hofstra University.
Yes, congratulations, Vinny.
Wearing the shirt right now to celebrate it. Wearing the shirt right now for the graduating class.
Very well deserved.
All the graduates in the back that were graduated this semester, and I am one of them. I got my bachelor's in journalism, and I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity. I'm going to get my master's a little bit later on, but the fact of the matter is that I've graduated this and I finished this massive chapter of my life, and I cannot wait what's going to be happening next.
What do you remember most about your time as a student at Hofstra?
During my time with Hofstra, what I'm going to remember most is that I've always really had nice professors, and I've always felt like I had a better understanding of the world around me, not just with my field in journalism, but also just life as itself. As taking the liberal arts class, even knowing about philosophy, psychology, even some math, history, modern history, current events, all this other stuff. Even as someone who has lived in a house where both of his parents have been teachers for the last 3 decades, I have still learned a litany, a pure litany of information that I will use for the rest of my life because of my 4.5 years at Hofstra University. And of course, being in the radio station for WRHU, I've learned how to operate a board. I've learned how to cut up highlights. I've learned how to use Adobe Premiere and Audition and the many other programs that are used on Adobe. I've known how to use programming. I've known how to use Office, all these huge rudimentary tools that are going to help me achieve great success down the road. And it's always great to have the foundation of not just what you know, but also to gain stuff that you didn't know before. And I think that's what's most important with an education. It's one thing to just be told again and again and again, we already know, but you're not going to learn anything new with that. In order to make this education really worthwhile, is if you say, have I learned something? Have I grown as an individual? Have I changed in my time when I was 18 years old, when I came to college, when I left when I was 22 years old? I'm no longer a teenager anymore. I'm an adult. I now have my own car. I can now get a drink whenever I want. And I'm now no longer a member of the university. I'm now an alumni. And as a result, I don't feel like a boy anymore. I feel like I am a man. I truly do feel like I am a stage in my life where I can say I'm a man, and everyone's going to agree. And no, the beard isn't just a dead giveaway, just as is.
Oh, wait. So what's her name? And when is the baby due?
I'm actually not dating anyone. I've never dated anyone yet. No, that's
that's
a whole.
smart.
I'm not even thinking about that. Honestly, I'm thinking about getting another job beyond just here, and LinkedIn. I need LinkedIn to work in my favor, and Indeed, all these other places. But for right now, that's where I am in life. I don't have a girlfriend as of yet. I'm not even thinking about that right now. What's most important is my job and my craft, which is most important. That stuff could happen later, but right now it's all about getting that foundation, not just for education, but also for life.
What kind of job are you seeking?
I've always wanted to work with halls of fame as it is. I actually work for the Suffolk County Hall of Fame, which, in case you don't know, that's the regional hall of fame that's about my county that I live in, Suffolk County, New York. It's like the two counties of Long Island. There's Nassau County, which is right next to Queens, and right next to that there's Suffolk, which is comprised of the Fork with Montauk and Islip and the other places. But for me, I'm writing a lot of the Twitter posts for people's birthdays and information. Did you know facts? So in case you haven't already, if whoever's watching this, please go to Twitter right now and follow at Suffolk HOF, and please follow them. They could greatly appreciate it. They're very close to reaching 300 followers. If you haven't, please do so right now. Also,
That's Suffolk. Can you spell that?
Suffolk, SUFOLK, Suffolk, like in Suffolk County.
SUFOLK.
Okay. HOF.
HOM. Suffolk Home. Is that it?
Yes, it should. I'm going to pull it up to just show you for anyone that hasn't already.
Is it like Vinny, like this?
No. It's this. This is what it says. So it's SUFFOLK. This
SUFF. Oops, excuse me. Try that again. Oh boy.
SUFFOLK HOF.
SUFFOLK what?
HOF.
HOF. Oh. Like that.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So go there, folks. Actually, I think I went there the other day and followed them.
Nice.
Yeah.
The more followers, the merrier. We're very close to reaching 300. And if it is, I'm going to make sure I let Chris, the owner of it, know. In case you don't know, Chris Vaccaro is also the executive vice president of Altice.
Of who?
Altice. That's the company that acquired Cablevision from the Dolans.
Oh, okay. No, I did not know that. I did not know.
Like I said, the more you learn, it's all about, and yeah, he's a big contact for me as well. He said that he also wants me to help him out for the the induction event. It's going to have a whole dinner. Linda Cohn is probably going to be one of the inductees potentially from ESPN.
Is she a graduate?
No, not graduate. From Suffolk County.
Okay.
Someone from Suffolk County, and Linda is from Suffolk County. And there's other people I want to try to see make it down the line, but at the same time, I'm very excited for this. And but beyond just this, I also want to try to find maybe I can try to get the Basketball Hall of Fame or the Football Hall of Fame. I want to try to get big with those halls of fame because my time being here, that is by far my most passionate topic. Anything Hall of Fame, it could be very contemporary in the moment, and I'm big with people from the 1800s. Like one of my most wanted guys for baseball was Bud Fowler, the first ever black baseball player. And he was just inducted, and I was so excited for that. And that's just one example of people that I like. But also besides that, I also am willing to help out with people in terms of try to get their foot through the door. I'm willing to also help other people learn how to use online spaces like I do. I'm continuing to use Wikipedia to build articles. I've been a big part on Wikipedia since 2009. Yeah, 2009. I've been using Wikipedia, and I've been trying to edit articles and whatnot. I'm just currently creating an article listing every single playoff game for Chinese basketball at the moment. it's a big passion of mine, and I hope that could lead to me getting a job for an editor down the road, because it would truly be a big opportunity for me, and it wouldn't even feel like work. It would just feel like it's doing something I love, and it's gonna be a happy place for me. Like being on here doing vlogs, it's really been a big comforting moment just to let my voice known to the whole world. And I gain an audience that way. I gain social media accounts that way. That's how you build my brand. And my brand has been someone who is young than the average person on these topics, but can go toe to toe with a lot of the people that are in the field. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Eric, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations, Vinny. You are very informative when you do your vlogs, and you are very intelligent when you pick your topics, and I admire that, and I learn from you as well as I do for Zinni, and more success for you down the road, man. And hopefully one day we could be partners, team up.
I would love
broadcasting. That's my dream as well, is to become a broadcaster.
That's a dream of myself. My dream is to potentially not just be a voter for these halls of fame, but to actually run a hall of fame and be the person that's making decisions on what types of people get inducted. And not just players, but also the contributors,
right,
the inventors, the executive, the scout. That stuff always interests me more, because to me, it's not just about the people that play the game or any game. It's about the people that make that game even possible. And that shows much more beauty to me than just the very simple, visual aspect, the background.
I think you would do it justice, because the NFL Hall of Fame definitely needs a change. Just the way it constructed and the waiting period of all. I think you would be a perfect door in there, because the NFL Hall of Fame needs definitely to be changed for a long time ago. But
I agree. And there's two huge Raiders. There's two huge Raiders that I would love to see make it because of their impact. Amy Trask absolutely deserves to get inducted with her own bronze bust. If anyone should be the first female to get inducted, it should be her. And another person I really want to make it from Oakland, Wilfred Winkenbach, the founder of fantasy football. He was the creator of it when he was a minority owner of the Raiders, and that industry is worth more than the NFL itself. And it was his invention.
It needs to change. They need people like you there to change it, because you shouldn't have nobody like Lynn Swan. How long did he wait? I mean, Chris Carter, not just Raider people, but people in general waited so long to get a call.
He's dead.
Ugh.
It's even worse.
But he got in when he died, right?
Cliff Branch.
Cliff Branch and Dan Reeves, he just died too. And like, what's even worse about it is, I didn't even realize it until like, when you die, they don't even give you the gold jacket or the ring.
Nope.
You know why? Because they don't want to deal with wills. They don't want to deal with people's wills. And I was saying, oh my God, that's horrible.
How about give it to the family members? I mean, the family. Give it to the family.
And I hate saying that, because I love like a lot of people that are part of it, but there's all these weird things. I mean, the person that created professional football, O.D. Thompson, Oliver David Thompson, he's not even inducted yet. Like, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's why I said it's ridiculous. It's been ridiculous.
Cliff Branch is a finalist.
Yeah, after
he's
how
gonna.
many
I hope he gets in.
He should make it. Cliff Branch should make it. He
fingers crossed.
Was the absolute greatest receiver in the playoffs. His yards and touchdowns tell you that.
Oh, here's Bill. Oh man,
Hey Bill, how you doing?
I remind.
I've
I
said
am
previously,
reminded of the classic lines. So toot the horn and ring the bell because I am the man with the clientele, and that's Bill Claro.
well, I couldn't help but hear, and of course, I very much, of course, did. I won't say enjoy watching Cliff Branch because it was not a joy for me as a young Steelers fan, but I certainly appreciated watching Cliff Branch. But I don't think he's the most deserving X-Raider wide receiver. I still think Art Powell is an even more deserving player.
I also, Bill, this is not the first time this week we're seeing each other on stream.
It is not. It is not.
For those that don't know, I was actually a part of a whole committee on notinthehallofFame.com. And not in the Hall of Fame, it's not in Hall of Fame.
Right.
On Twitter, in case anyone wants to follow it. Kirk Buckner does a great job. I've been with him for as long as
I thought I was going to have to mute you about something X-rated or something. What were you guys?
No. It's clean.
No, it's clean cut.
So what's this other stream?
Oh, this other stream? Oh, it's from Not in the Hall of Fame. It's a website that is run by Kirk. It's another place I'm a part of.
Yep.
Hey, Vinny, I need to applaud you though, because you predicted this. You said it was going to come down to the Chargers and the Raiders in the last game of the season. I remember that. You predicted that, and I don't want to ask who you think is going to win, but you said it was going to be the Chargers and the Raiders, so it is. Congrats on that. You predicted that, right?
Yes, so, Bill, do you have anything to say?
Well, first of all, congratulations, Vinny. It is exciting to see you. You know, I mean, you obviously were an adult person before, but this is yet another rite of passage as you move towards, being seen differently by the world.
I'm already seen a little bit differently as it is.
Yes,
even more differently.
Also true. Yes.
Except your parents will always see you as their son. So.
Also,
of course,
very good.
And they'll remind you.
Chris is still going to see me as my brother and everything, and yeah.
No matter how old you are, trust me, Vinny. No matter how old you are, mom is always gonna be mom. Dad is always gonna be dad.
My grandmother as well. Yeah. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, everything else in between.
And once again,
I just want to say something. I just want to thank you guys for being there for me. I know you guys know my situation. It's been a tough year for me. This week, we're going to lay my mom to rest on Friday. And I just thank you guys for having me a shoulder to lean on, because it hasn't been easy, but I'm getting stronger every day. And I know mom would want me to not be mopey and sad. I could hear her voice telling me, don't be sad and this and that, and my family's there. So I just want to thank you guys for, keeping me upright.
Oh, sure. You got it.
We're going to listen.
For this time.
Even though Zenny's name may be part of the company, this is all group efforts. And you are a part of the group as long as you're here. We're always going to see you as one of us. Eric, we're willing to support you to the very thick and thin. And I've said this to you offsite, and your mother was very grateful in her entire time on earth to call you her son. And she is still very, very grateful. The fact that you were always there for her to the very, very end.
There you go.
And I'm very
and folks, while we're talking, I want to do a quick advertisement for, I don't know if you guys know what that means, but I will tell you. There are 128 people using Oakland News Now right now. Currently. And
congrats. Oh yeah.
And I'm asking everybody to pay a visit and check out what's happening, because this is the 8th wonder of the world. and I finally coded it, and you all are part of it, and you are part of it in a way where if somebody goes to the page, you'll see you there. And it feeds about 2,000 items of news a day automatically.
That is awesome.
And
Oh,
but
That is
well,
awesome.
there it is.
yeah,
Items of news a day. Oh,
yeah, a day.
that's us.
That is awesome.
And
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Right there.
And not only that, take a look at it.
I'll be right back, Vinny.
Okay. And as I scroll down, this is different ordered items, but the stream really takes place here past the 26th entry, and it starts right after waste management. Frankie Lowe, this national championship. These are all different feeds that come up from the search system and the tie-ins we have to these different YouTube channels. We even have recognized that Raiders head coach Rick Bisaccia. Raiders, right? We have Arizona Cardinals. We've got Brendan Staley, Justin Herbert from the Rams. We've got highlights from sports and the Pacers. We've got celebrity news, Britney Spears, Anchor. We've got Carolina Panthers, coronavirus news, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yes. We can dial in any topic and have it brought up multiple times. And not only that, this becomes its own broadcast. And then it's put on various news websites and also social media automatically, which means we can sort of dial and we can influence the news as well. But it's just fun to see what the world is up to on any given moment of any given day. OaklandNewsNow.com, and it's a true blog aggregator. And the way it works, folks, is it's see, there's Vinny. See that? There's Yours Truly, who's part of it. And so
that was actually one of my first vlogs.
And
that I
so
did on the channel
you can go there, right? And you click on
Part
it.
of it. And so
Isn't that cool?
That was actually one of my first vlogs.
Yeah, and
that I did on the channel.
Yeah. And so Vinny is here. And then you can scroll down and you want to see what else is going on. You can talk about I don't know what Made in Seco is going on, but you can find out just by clicking on it and scrolling down. And there's ads here, which have been a great revenue source, I should add. No pun intended. I don't know what this is. This is interesting. Oh, there's a music video. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Is that Argentinian music?
Hey, sounds pretty good, folks.
It sounds nice.
Yeah. We even had 50 Cent up here the other day, automatically, I might add. And it mixed with Stephen Curry post game. We've got all kinds of neat news some news that you'll find that's valuable, some you won't.
There you go.
And here's Steph live, right? There's Steph. Looks like he just stepped out of a Pete Davidson party.
He kind of looks like what Pete Davidson was wear after like going to a bar or whatever.
Yeah. Steph Curry looks like what Pete Davidson would look like if he went to a bar as Steph Curry. So, there you go. So I'm really proud of this thing, and it really looks freaking cool on your smartphone, folks. I just can't say enough about how jazzed I am about this development. You all have had a hand in it, and this is going to portend bigger things. This thing is freaking huge. It is the 8th wonder of the world, and in the words of Dr. Frankenstein, I could finally say, after almost losing my life coding it, it works. And again,
It's
it feeds
alive!
in news without going haywire. It's alive. It's right. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Or maybe
Frankenstein.
Exactly. Yeah. And then if I want to read more about the great vloggers here, I can do that too. And we've got a vlogger page, and there's that right there with all the great Zenny 62 Media vloggers here. There's Joseph's page. There's Penny Dreff. Him talking about there's Penny Dreffel mentioning Carrillo. Anya Croats. I haven't seen Anya in years. Oh my lord.
How she's doing?
Richard, Anya's in Seattle. Richard Hake. Richard in a while. I'm talking about this. You can't even see what I'm talking about. Hold on a second. Isn't that weird? There we go. I'll put it on the side there. Yeah, there we go. That's Richard. There's Jessica Dwyer. That's not Jessica. That's somebody she interviewed. Actually, that's not just somebody. That is the somebody. She is the director of Candyman. There's Vinny right there. There's Mason. Haven't seen Mason Riggs in a while. There's the great Nikki Rainey, Melissa Rubin, Derek Sue, David Squires from London. Haven't seen him in a while. Vasu Vade Party, who interviewed Ted Robinson there. The great Eric Wilson. And we have, hey, I've got a page with Bill Carroll. I got to add Bill Carroll here. So, Bill, I'll add you here because you got another page here.
Well, soon I'm going to start doing.
I got to add Eric too. Eric.
As teams essentially now begin to align where they're going to be for their permanent draft period, what do you call it? Positioning. I'll start doing mock drafts for each one of the 32 teams. So that'll.
Well, I actually have a page for you, Bill, but it's a separate page that I created. I'll just reassemble it because if I should be able to call it up if I. Well, let me see if I. Let's see, William Carroll. Like that, Carroll. And do search. And the search is going to work. The machine is working. And scrolling down. See, there's Bill Carroll's Saturday Superlatives.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. And then we scroll down, and there should be more of Bill as we go down because this is in reverse order. So the closer we get to today, I think the more it comes up. It's kind of a weird ordering system, but
gotcha. Okay.
So that's what happens if I type William Carroll. But if I type Bill Carroll, we get a different result. So let me go back and type Bill Carroll, because that's William, the more formal name, and Bill Carroll. And there's Bill Carroll right here with his Saturday Superlative series that I actually broke out. And then check it out right here. See that? Who's that?
Oh, there we go.
Bill. Bill going once. Bill going twice. Bill going 3 times. 4, 5, and 6. 7, 8, and 9. 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, okay. Oh. Right.
13, 14, and 15. 60. You didn't know this was here, Bill, huh?
No, actually, I did not. But now I do.
Yeah. And 18 and a lot. See, Oakland News Now is full of Bill Carroll. See, look at that. That's even when you had Jake Ellenbogen.
Oh, Ellenbogen, yes.
Yeah. And so we've got your famous mock draft held on March 20th of last year. Your mini Saturday superlative vlog series. We've got the Bill Carroll I mean, the only thing we don't have is the group that built Bill Carroll and the Crypt Kicker 5. That's it. Other than that, we've got everything Bill Carroll. Look at this.
Opening for Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. But okay, there we go. Yeah.
Exactly. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Are you not stunned?
I am certainly I am surprised. Yes. I didn't realize all that was there in one place.
Yes. Every time you made a vlog, I engineered it just like everybody else so that these are produced automatically. And that's exactly what's happened. So I had made one page for you that was supposed to have these automatically stored in it. But what happened was I stopped using the plugin that associated with it because the plugin was buggy. So I'm going to try another format, another code. I didn't like that code. It was too heavy. Heavy meaning it was too, it didn't work properly under pressure. But yeah, Bill,
okay.
Anyone seeing this now live, all you got to do is type Bill Carroll, okay? And this is what you get, all right? Same with Vinny. You know, you think this is something, all right? You think this is something where we just have Bill up here? Parrots. Nothing against that, but
there might be someone out there with a shrine of you. Who knows? That sounds a little creepy, but
yeah,
what could happen?
Seeing as Vinny is the guest of the hour, we must show the fact that he is here, and as well as the superior coding system of Oakland News Now, and I can safely say that after watching this damn thing crash so many times. Oh, that's been something else. But you talk about learning a heck of a lot. Oh yeah. All right, now we'll take Bill Carroll over here, and we'll just type Vinny Lospinuso, like that, and then hit search. And let's see, we get the search, we get oopsie. That's an ad. And there's Vinny. There's Vinny. Yep. And then there's more Vinny.
Because you always want more Vinny.
That's right.
I decided to use a lot of like videos of like, you know, there's like, you know, the Sonic 2 trailer, or like Buck O'Neill, or like when Urban Meyer.
Vinny's got a.
I have it right here. Don't worry. I have the film and the CD, also the official soundtrack. There were only like 10,000 copies of made. It's very rare. I have it also in my collection too. So yeah.
Nice.
He's got a thing about. I'll correct that. I'll correct those thumbnails.
Yeah, the Nathan Peterman one was a lot longer than I expected it to be. I mean, you had the releasement of like the Henry Ruggs got a lot of traffic when I was doing that, over 1,000. That was easily my most viewed video, and I hate saying it, but I guess, and I'm happy that it was my biggest one, but at the same time, I'm also sad because it was a touchy subject. But at the same time, you know, always take advantage of those opportunities when they get hot. Simple as that.
Here's the one, David Baker in the middle. Pro Football Hall of Fame president CEO David Baker to resign.
That don't forget, guys. I reported that story.
Got it out there. John Gruden to get removed from Madden 22 following email scandal.
That was like that was a huge story.
Alec Baldwin kills movie cinematographer by a prop gun.
There's been more information of that since, but I didn't really have a chance to really comment on it, mainly because I wasn't really as invested into it.
There's a Raiders owner and fantasy football founder, Bill Wickenbach, should be in the Hall of Famer.
Yes, he should. Fantasy football is actually worth.
And then Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden to resign after explicit email service. Russell Wilson to be out for 6 weeks following finger surgery by Vinny Lospinuso. There's Carolina Panthers trade for Stephon Gilmore, Justin Tucker's value, while Pro Football Hall of Fame needs special teams committee. Hey, talk about this for a second, Vinny. I meant to ask you what is it about that? Why is that why is that something that should be done?
It should be done, as I said in the video, how much special teams really matters to a lot of teams. A lot of people just think of offense and defense, but over the years, we've had so many people involved in special teams, not just with kicking and punting, but also long snapping, gunner, return specialist, and many other facets of the game that are integral. I'd be the kind of person that'd be even pushing for Zach Diassi from the Cowboys, or am I thinking of his father? Like, I'm naming his son. Like, I'm thinking Diassi from the Cowboys. I would be like the first person wanting to see him make the Hall of Fame because, in my opinion, I'm a huge, big proponent of special teamers. And Bill, if you think I was a big proponent of Steve Tasker and Devin Hester for this year, wait until next year when Shane Leckler is going to be eligible. You're going to see me not just pound the table, hit the table so hard the thing will snap in two. That's how much
I like Shane Leckler, but Jarrell Wilson to me is even more deserving, and he's died. So
I agree with you. Jarrell Wilson should be in.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I like Leckler just fine, but there's people I think are more deserving who are still.
Oh no, I agree. But you see, the thing that Wilson's in the senior committee. Jim Bakke from the Cardinals is another one. Pete Gogolak is another one I thought of.
Right, the first.
He's also responsible for the NFL merging with the AFL. He's responsible for that. He's the reason why. If it wasn't for him, he's the reason behind that. Horace Gilliam from the Browns is another one I thought of. Hank Bauer, the guy that pioneered special teams.
Hank Bauer, old number 37.
Indeed, 37. Matt Slater, of course, is one I love. I'm just a huge special teams guy. The thing with me is like, and I said to Zenny too, like the things I the most people like, mainly because hey, this is an opportunity for me to get in, and it's like, hey, I want to see inventors get a bronze bust. I want to see scouts get a bronze bust, and pre-NFL like O.D. Thompson or Pudge Heffelfinger, John Braley, or Charles Follis, the first ever black football player.
Yep.
And other guys like Marlon Briscoe or Kenny Washington, like all these pioneers. I just want to more fair. That's the thing that I mean. Just more fair. That's what I mean.
Fairness. Fairness.
I mean, I'm still waiting for people.
Of course. Fairness shows.
Unfortunately, Roger Brown, wanted to get in and was pushing to get past. And we still Billy. At the time he retired.
Roger Brown, the 5-time playoff bowl winner.
Yes.
The guy who sacked, right?
Bill, you're kind of cutting out. I can't really understand you.
I mean, and the first great 300-pounder in the history of the game.
Oh, I'm big with Roger Brown. But I'm talking about special teamers.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I think about special teamers, I mean, obviously Justin Tucker will get in when his time comes. I think he's into. It'll happen eventually for Hester.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's a fighting chance. It's just to convince people. Unless you have, I mean, the thing about Hester is people realize that he changed strategy, right? He altered the way teams approached playing the Bears, right? Because of what he could do.
Yep.
So that helps him. And like I said, Justin Tucker being ridiculously consistent. I mean, he's going to retire as the most accurate of all time, and he has the longest. He won't get
Bill, you're
once you get beyond people that. I was just saying it gets tough once you get beyond the ones that are that obvious.
Hey, folks, just go ahead and talk through it, because what happens is that it actually is picking up what you're saying. but it just gets perturbated through here. But you'll find that the final outcome, it actually records what you thought wasn't recorded. So just play through. That's what I always tell people, is just to play through.
Fight through it.
Fight
Okay, gotcha.
through it. Guys, let's talk NFL draft.
The play goes on.
Before we escape out of here for slumber. But Vinny and Bill, if the draft were held right now, who would go number one?
I'm gonna let Bill go first, considering he is the draft expert.
Here's what I will say. I feel pretty sure about the position. There'll be an interesting fight about which one of them it will be. There are 3 players who play the same position who are swapping paint, right? 3 wide at Talladega. So in the case of Thibodeau, because he's been sort of out of sight, out of
one question real quick. Why is it every time I hear Talladega, I think of Will Ferrell?
Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Pray to sweet baby Jesus.
That's why.
8 pounds, 6 ounce baby Jesus.
Oh my Lord. Okay, so I've been infected. Sorry, I just wanted to get that straight. Sorry, Bill, go ahead.
Yes, that's how that happened to you. Yes. But in answer to your question, that answer at the beginning of the season everyone in the world would have said Kayvon Thibodeau. But the season that Aiden Hutchinson's had, combined with the season that George Karlaftis has had, has made it so that there's a little it's a little up in the air. What's going to help to decide it is when we get to the testing, right? I think that though people kind of forgot about Thibodeau, if he puts on the freak show performance that I'm expecting at the combine, people are like, oh, right, that's why we all had decided he was going to be the first player off the board.
Hey, Carol, on that note, how do we explain Mr. Hutchinson's no-show performance? Because he didn't show. He was shut out.
You're also comparing a senior to a sophomore here when it comes to Michigan versus the Michigan product versus the Oregon product.
I'm just simply pointing out the fact that against Georgia, he didn't show.
Break down the L-22 as scouts will do. You'll see they didn't have so much a bad game as they were just overmatched. I mean, he was doing the things he does. He was still playing hard. He was still – a couple of times he beat his man. It didn't always matter that he beat his man, but he beat his man a couple of times. But they also were sliding things his way.
See, I'm guessing what I'm getting at is he didn't have –
That was a horrible game. That was a horrible game. A horrible game. A horrible game. That Michigan game was embarrassing.
Does anyone think? Does anyone think that potentially Matt Corral could fall a bit in the draft, considering he kind of got roughed up a little bit in the bowl game?
My point, I'm pointing out that Aiden Hutchinson had that Jadeveon Clowney type game that all the hype would make you think he was going to have. They hyped the crap out of that kid.
Well, I mean, because he had an amazing season. I mean, it's not like it wasn't just they said he had
Yeah, but it's kind of like, to me, he didn't deliver. I was thinking, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, he didn't deliver. I thought, okay, fine. I'll let him drop. I'll take him in the low. He's not a Nick Bosa, right?
Yeah, you got to win in a big stage. I agree with you.
I'm still pretty confident he's going to go very early. And he's going to test well. His film is good. Even though obviously Michigan got absolutely destroyed, he didn't have a bad game. It's just that they were physically overwhelmed, and they couldn't really force him to throw the ball. I mean, not very much at least. So the thing he does best is rush the passer. What did they do? They ran at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say to that. They ran at it. I mean, that's not really – that's pretty much the end of the story. They loaded up, and the same counters. It's ironic, right? Live by the counters, die by the counters. A lot of those same counters, a lot of those same almost like old school student body right, student body left plays that Michigan ran with so much success all year was flipped and used against them. And
Right.
the few times they did, I mean, not the few times, but he got pressure a few times. But the few times he was able to get pressure, they got the ball out. I mean, that happens. I mean, it wasn't like he was out there getting, destroyed or something. It's just that they ran into a much better team.
See, I'm not arguing he won't be picked high. My
He
argument
will.
is he will be a bust.
Oh, wow.
I'm calling
Okay.
it. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now early.
All right.
Period. Great, high character.
Hey, I'd rather
Yes.
have that quarterback from
Hitting
Alabama.
it bold right
But
there.
he
I
will
love it.
not win. He will not help me win the
The
Super
quarterback
Bowl.
from Alabama.
Well, those are two different things.
Oh, we
He may
can-
not help someone win a Super Bowl, but
Well, no, I'm saying that Hutchinson will not help me win the Super Bowl.
well, I mean, I could say the same about Julio Jones if that's the standard you're using. Julio Jones has never helped
Jones is not
anyone
the
win a
reason
Super
why
Bowl
the
so far
Titans
either.
are one seed in the AFC. I mean, he's had a very rough
But
year.
I can counter that Julio Jones was part.
Hey, here's a good example. Here's a good example.
Eric,
I think
wait.
Mac Jones.
Eric, wait.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. A good example is Julio
Sorry.
Jones did get the Falcons to the Super Bowl. They may not have won,
Mm-hmm.
but he was a key ingredient in the Falcons getting to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just
the
saying
thing-
though.
The thing that's always going to hold that Falcons season down, and everyone's going to keep talking about the collapse and everything. That was mostly on the defense, to be fair. And I would not hold that against Matt Ryan or Julio Jones more so. I would hold that more so on the game planning of Kyle Shanahan as well as the porous defensive performance. So I'm not really against that personally, though I would say more so like the situation is also going to matter a lot for a lot of these people. Like if you have Hutchinson going to a place like the Jaguars, we don't know who their head coach is going to be next year. Like we don't know what culture that person is going to be bringing to the locker room. Not only that, we also don't know what staff is going to go well with him. So that's what's really going to matter too.
All right.
Not
Bill, what
just
say
the
you
person,
after
but
I-
also what he's surrounded with.
I think bust is unlikely for several reasons. He's technically sound. He's a very good athlete, and he's a super hard worker. So you might say he's going to be overdrafted. That happens a lot. But to me, a bust is a guy who's out of the league in a couple of years, and I don't think that's him. So I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay, Eric.
So do you think he would be better than what Mac Jones is
Eric
doing
Jones.
right now? Because Mac Jones is doing really well
Well, Mac Jones is a
in the
quarterback.
Patriots.
We're going
So
defensive end.
do you think?
I'm not. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, well, wait a minute. Let me think about what you're saying here. When I'm explaining, and let's work backward. I'm simply saying that Hutchinson is not the guy at the next level that's going to get you to the Super Bowl. He's not going to be part of the championship. He's going to be a coach killer. He's going to be just good enough to start, but not good enough to get you to the playoffs. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, now,
Right, but I'm trying to, but only a handful of players. I mean, when you say, if you're talking about someone who's going to carry a team, that's not very many players. You know what I mean? Like that's a handful of guys in the history of football.
I did not say carry. That's
Okay.
different.
Okay.
I said be part of a core. I mean, let me put it this way. Let me give you a corollary.
Okay.
And once I say this name, I want to see your face. Cleveland Farrell.
Well, now that's different. Cleveland Farrell had no business being drafted where he was. He wasn't productive and he wasn't athletic.
That guy should have been
Hutchinson is Dramatically
better.
better than Farrell in almost every way. A player can be better than other player. He's a better athlete. He's a better technician. He plays harder. He's more sound. He's more explosive. I mean, everything. Like he's got everything over a guy like Farrell, and he outproduced Farrell by like a factor of 4 to 1. They're not comparable players.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying to me that I could be comfortable taking Hutchinson at 4 and he'll deliver in the NFL.
I would be way more comfortable taking Hutchinson than Cleveland Farrell. I mean, as you just said before, situation is everything. If he goes to a team, especially a team that knows what to do, right, that's building correctly, he's going to do well. If he goes to a team that's terrible and run poorly, he's not going to do as well. I mean, that's
like
pointing out the obvious. But I mean, first of all, rookie defensive ends, there's always that adjustment period. I mean, every once in a while you see a guy who just comes right out of the box and dominates, right? But that's the exception, like Chase Young or whatever. That's the exception rather than the rule. I don't think he's quite at the level of Chase Young, but I mean, like I said, Cleveland Farrell, he's so much better than Cleveland Farrell. I mean, I'll give you a corollary. Max Crosby, only slightly better. He's a slightly better version of Max Crosby. He's closer to Max Crosby than he is to Cleveland Farrell.
Oh, you know what you're saying then, right?
I know exactly what I'm saying.
You're saying I can let him drop.
I'm saying if he drops, you should get him. I don't know if he'll drop. This is because of the way this class stacks out, because there isn't a Chase Young in this class. There isn't a Joey Bosa in this class. The quarterback class is middling at best. There's some really good wide receivers. It's super great tight end class. There's going to be tight ends going in the 3rd and 4th round who are going to make Pro Bowl, bold and win Pro Bowl in their careers. Great tight end class. The corner class is not awesome. The safety class is, well, it's good. Now, let me rephrase that. The cornerback class is very top heavy. The safety class is good throughout. There'll be people getting starting safeties in the 5th and 6th round. The tackle class is top heavy, but the interior offensive line class is very thick. Like maybe not a, Hall of Fame guy or even a 5 or 6, Pro Bowl guy, but there's a bunch of 3 Pro Bowl guys to be had, and some of them will be had in the middle or even late rounds amongst the guard and center class. The running back class is all right. Bunch of good starting running backs. Nobody's headed to the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, but a bunch of really good starting running back types. What else to tell you about this particular class? What position did I not discuss? Interior defensive tackles. The ones that you hear the most about, right, are not going to be the ones with the longest and best careers. The guys that end up going, like the guys that are at the top of everyone's board, they'll be okay, right? Jordan Davis, etc. But the guys that go later, the Scott Matlocks and some of the other guys that go a little bit later, the kid we just saw from Cincinnati, Brooks, right? Curtis Brooks. Those guys are going to have really, really, really solid careers, and you get them obviously later, I think, than some of the guys will be pushed up the board. But it's a decent class, but I think people are overvaluing certain things, right? What else? What is linebacker? It's an interesting mix of linebackers. People are super high on Nakobe Dean, and he'll be a good player. I think he's being slightly overvalued.
From Georgia.
Nakobe Dean's being, I think, slightly overvalued. He's a good player, though. There'll be some really good linebackers who will be held, once again, sort of like with the defensive tackle class, who will
think he'll be as good as his counterpart that came out last year, number 13, from Georgia, who was outstanding defensive end / outside linebacker, whose name just slipped my mind.
Hold on. You are.
Let me see here.
Hold on. Let me think. You must be talking.
I'm actually going to look him up right here. 13 linebacker. 2020. Or maybe it was, let's see here. This number was 13. Who is that?
think I know you're talking about. I'm wondering if the year is right. Let me think. Hold on.
2020 or 2019? 2020.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the guys who went the first and which ones from Georgia. Stokes went to, but he was obviously a corner.
I'm looking at the depth chart now for 2020. Offense,
Georgia
defense.
defender to win the first round. Let's see.
Or maybe I had them mixed up here.
Well, I'm just going to walk through the guys. Oh, you're talking about, he wasn't a first rounder, but you're probably talking about Aziz Ojolari, right? He was second round.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was a second rounder, but yeah, okay. I was, I figured it out. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, you must have done Aziz. And I saw his little brother play a little while ago.
I was shocked he fell as much as he did. That's the guy that I was talking about.
I don't know if the term is really fell is accurate, because I don't think the NFL ever saw him as a top 25 or 30 guy. I think the NFL always saw him as a top 40, 50 guy. Mm-hmm. Aziz is a really good athlete, but he didn't, once again, not a guy who really knew what he was doing all the time.
Uh-huh.
Raw, talented, but raw. So
you got to shape him.
Generally, unless your team doesn't care so much about guys being ready to go right away, tends to wait a little on guys who are that raw. Jason Pierre-Paul's sort of an exception. Guys like that are an exception, where they'll go ahead and say, well, we'll teach him, but generally guys who are that raw aren't seen as, top of the first round or even middle of the first round guys. They're very into the first, or more likely into the second.
All right. So since this is, it's 9:32 and I want this to remain the Vinny Fest rather than the Bill Fest.
Yeah.
And, so I got to go and take care of other matters. So, Vinny, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
And we'll do this later in the week, and we'll have more of these streams where we talk. We haven't had them in a while. I've spent a lot of time, and I'm asking everybody to get to feel around and know Oakland News Now. And also those of you who have stock, which is show of hands, who has stock. Yeah, see?
To Eric.
Eric, what'd you do? Throw your stock away?
Yeah.
His hand's off screen.
Is he
His hand's off screen.
Sorry, I laid my hand.
Jeez, man. That's everybody. Anyway,
my mind was gone.
Get to know your Oakland News Now, and hey, own it. See something that should be changed? Let me know. We'll have a walkthrough of the new battle station later in the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You guys got to see it.
All right.
Sounds
good.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna close this out. Stick around the backstage, everybody. Vinny, congratulations, my man. You're also will be on the Zenny 62 Media Advisory Board. Actually, all of you will. And that's going to be one of the changes I make this year.
Congrats, Vinny.
Yeah, now it's not a voting thing. It's advisory, right? But the idea is, to really more formalize what we've had as sort of an advisory role in a sense anyway. So there you go. All right. Stick around in the background, everybody. Subscribe to Zenny 62. And please bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. That ends this broadcast.